Hey YouTube, Old Man in a Kayak here, and I'm going to be testing out some gear, some winter gear, and let me show you what I've got. I start off with, I have this new Jackery 300. It's a 300 watt model. This is small and compact, and what I'm doing is I'm testing out this winter gear for this winter when I'll be doing some car camping and maybe some tent camping, but tent right next to right next to my car. Not necessarily backpacking or survival type stuff, but I do love camping and hiking and fishing out in the winter. And I do a lot of kayak fishing even in the winter months down here in Texas. And so I'm not afraid of the cold, but I do like to sleep warm. So what I'm testing out is I have this Jackery 300, and what I have also is a Beauty Rest electric blanket. Now that is a queen size blanket with two controllers to it, and what I'm doing is I'm going to be folding it in half, and so I have a bottom heating side and a top heating side, and I'll be able to adjust the temperatures and the use for however I need. Like when I'm outdoors, I may want the bottom warm and then a sleeping bag and not so much the electric on the top. But my question is, how long will this Jackery run this? Now I did test it the other night on one of these little throw blankets. These are just one of these little blankets that's not a full blanket. It's the kind when you're sitting on a couch, you would put it over you and kind of warm you up like a lap blanket. And it ran all night long. It ran that blanket all night long. Now, granted, it was only in the 50s that night, so and I had it on low, so it wasn't really much of a test. But tonight is going to be freezing. We will be below freezing. Last I saw was 30 degrees tonight. I will post up a picture of the actual temperature it's supposed to be tonight. But anyway, so I'm here in my warehouse. I'm testing this out in my warehouse, and this is it's a non-heated building. My office is heated, but the warehouse isn't. What I did is on one of the shelves here, I made a little bed with a foam pad, a sheet, and then I have the electric blanket doubled over, and then I have a wool blanket over the top, and this is all I'm going to use tonight, and all I will sleep in will be probably this shirt and a pair of boxers. No socks, no nothing. I do have insulated socks, down socks, camp socks that I will be testing when I actually go out into the wild and do some car camping. It's just coming up real soon, probably next week. But the main thing is, what I'm testing tonight is how long will this Jackery right here run this queen size electric blanket, and it's got two zones, two controllers here. Okay, so I'm going to have one for the bottom and one for the top. And my testing tonight will be, what do I need to do will it run? First thing I'm going to do is I'll have both on. I'll probably have the bottom on warmer than the top, and I'm going to see how long it runs. And hopefully it will run the whole, I usually sleep about 6 to 7 hours. I rarely sleep more than 7 hours. I'm more of a 6-hour a night sleeper. And I think the Jackery ran that other blanket the other day and only used 5% battery. So hopefully this is a much bigger blanket, higher heat settings, has more heat settings. So hopefully I will be able to find the right adjustment and be able to go out and do my camping in a tent, no matter how cold it is here, because it doesn't get super cold here in Texas. And I will go out and camp down in the 20s and even the teens, and we do have some teens coming. And I want to pre-test this gear before I hit the water in the campsite out in high teens, low 20s temperature down at night here in Texas. And like I say, we're not up north, and I'm not trying to survive outdoors like Outdoor Boys or anything like that. That's not my goal here. My goal here is I like to go out and fish, and I like to hike, and I like to see the country, and I love being out in the wintertime in the woods, because let me tell you something, down here in Texas, once it gets cold, we lose a couple of things. We lose all the bugs and spiders, and more importantly, all the snakes. All right, I'm not scared of snakes. I respect snakes, but there's a lot of copperheads and a lot of rattlesnakes down here, and I'd just soon not meet any, right? So I love the winter camping and kayaking and things like that. So I do have a trip planned. Hopefully next week, if the temperature drops down into the 20s, high teens, low 20s, I will be doing camping out in a tent, which I won't be inside a building here. And this is just a warehouse, so it's not a super insulated building. It has thin wall insulation, and it's metal on the outside, and the temperature from outside to inside doesn't vary that much. So I do expect it to be in the low 30s, probably below freezing when I wake up in the morning, and hopefully I'll be warm with this all night long. But anyway, we're going to see how long the Jackery runs this blanket. I know how long it runs that throw, and it did okay, but I don't want to use the throw. I want a full-size blanket and stay warm. So anyway, I'm going to wait for nightfall, and I'll get the temperature posted for tonight. I'll do a little clip right before I crawl in, because I'll probably preheat this right before I crawl into bed, and then I'll shut it off, and I'll be sleeping here all night. And when I get up in the morning, we'll see if I'm cold or not. Alrighty? Hey, let's see if this Jackery and this electric blanket's working. Hopefully this blanket's not drawing too many amps. I couldn't find the exact wattage usage for it, and I know it's got multiple settings, and that makes a difference. And it says it's 160 watt, and if that's 160 watt hours on full, then I'm probably only get 2 hours on full. But I'm not looking to do full. I'm going to do a warmer grade on the bottom and a little bit cooler on the top, because I do have this wool blanket. And when I go out camping in the wild, I would really like to have the bottom underneath me. I have some foam pads I put down and a sleep pad, and then this electric blanket underneath, and then my good 20-degree sleeping bag on top, and I should be fine. And possibly a light blanket over that. And so hopefully that will, in a tent, that will keep me just warm and toasty. And that's the key to enjoying the outdoors, is having a place to escape. Not necessarily escape, but get out of the cold, because I do love going out in the kayak, and I've been out in my kayak fishing at 25 degrees and didn't get cold. But when I come off the water and I'm done fishing, I'm tired, and I cook something to eat, I would like to do all that in a semi-warm environment. And so that's my purpose here, testing this Jackery and this electric blanket. And hopefully the electric blanket I got doesn't have too much, but that's why I got it with the multiple settings. So hopefully I can find that right balance. All right, and that's an experiment for tonight. And the next time, if it works well, all this will be going out into the woods with me, and you can join me, and we'll be out in hopefully some 20 degrees, which is in North Texas. That's cold. All right, you guys up north, you can laugh, but down here, it's not laughing matter. Okay. Hey, well, anyway, let me get this. I got some more stuff to finish up, and then this stuff's set up. It's ready. My Jackery's charged. Blankets are set up. I'm going to sandwich myself in the middle here and play with the settings and hopefully get it just right. And I'll be back in a little bit when nightfall hits. Okay, YouTube, this is the weather forecast for tonight, and I am up in this area right here where you can see 35 down in Fort Worth. The city's always a little bit warmer. Up here at 33. I'm probably going to be, this is at 11 tonight. The actual low is supposed to be 29 degrees, and we're going to have a 10-mile-an-hour north wind with 70% humidity. So there'll be a little bit of a wind chill, and of course the humidity is going to make it a little colder, but I'll be inside, so the wind chill won't matter so much, but it will cool the building down, the metal building. But anyway, we're expecting a low of 29 tonight. So that's what I will be testing these blankets out tonight. All right, I'm back here. I've got my Jackery on. I got my electric blanket plugged in. I did put this on preheat at first. This controller has preheat, and it jumped up to like almost a 60 amp draw, or 60 watt draw. And so I decided I'm not going to do that. And I just put it on. I've got it on a low setting, number 3. Number 20 is the high. And see if you can see right now, but you can see right now it says it's pulling 22 watts. I have both sides plugged in, but only one on. It then drops down to 13. It drops down to 5. It was 5 when I came out here. I'm still sitting at 100%. It's been on for 10 minutes. And so I've got the bottom set on a 3. I'm going to turn the high, the other half on. And let me drop it down too. I'm going to put it down on a 3 as well. Now, I think I'm going to go a 2. And right now it shows I'm pulling 97 watts, but now it just dropped down to 8. That's that initial surge going through there. So right now it's drawing 8 watts, 8 watts. That should make it through the night. We'll know more in a little bit after I go to sleep and wake up. If I wake up freezing, it didn't work. If I wake up nice and warm, it worked. Anyway, we'll check the condition of this in the morning when I wake up, and we're going to leave this on. And if I get too cold or too warm, I may adjust some temperatures here and see what we got. But right now, It's fluctuating between 6 and 20 watts, but I think that once I get inside, my body heat coupled with these two, I should be just fine. And I like to test my gear out inside first before I go running off into the woods and spend a miserable night. I'm too old to be spending miserable nights. I love going camping and hiking and fishing and hunting and all that stuff, but I don't like to suffer too much. That's why I want a few creature comforts, but I don't want to drag the whole house with me, all right? But anyway, let me give this a test. I will see y'all in the morning. Okay, YouTube, it's an update. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. The Jackery is still running. I see the controllers on. I got a little chilly, and so it's been running for about 5.5 hours now. I reached down there and I changed the bottom half from a 3 setting to a 6, and it's already warming up really nice here. So I'm going to go back to sleep for about another hour or so and get up, and then when I get up, I'll check the status on the power supply. But so far it's handling really well. I'll see you in a few. All right, YouTube, tested out the Jackery and the electric blanket, and let me tell you where I'm at. After about 6.5 hours, I am sitting at, right now it's pulling 36 watts, and there's 46% power left. So I only used a little bit over half the power running this electric blanket all night. And this is a game changer for an old man camping. So now when I'm out there and it's below freezing, I know that this Jackery is going to keep me warm, run this electric blanket all night long. And that was a test for a night. So for indoors, I did it safe. I do things safe when I test my products, but I don't want to go out and get stranded and spend a miserable, horrible night outside. That's for young men. I'm an old man. I want to be comfortable. So anyway, I'm going to call that a win.